where they are now. Now, we already talked about Kylie Ray. Let's talk about the rest. And it says here, AEW is now a promotion lets wrestler go often. It's been 4 years old, and everyone's parting ways. Kylie Ray, we already touched on her. Bea Priestley, who's known at NXT as Blair Davenport, she was a promising name AEW, entered a feud with Britt Baker in the early days. Due to pandemic, she unable to appear and ultimately parted ways. And now, like I said, she's Blair Davenport. She's NXT. Matter of fact, she just won the deadline PLE to get a shot at the NXT Women's Championship at NXT New Year's Evil next week against Lyra Valkyria. But anyway, she used to be with AEW. Sadie Gibbs, if you guys recognize the name, you guys let me know in the live chat if you recognize some of the names of these women, because AEW has a shred history of not working things out with the women where the women want to leave the company. And we don't know why. It seems like it's a pattern going on. Sadie Gibbs signed for AEW near the beginning of the company, though she only had 3 matches under the AEW banner. The pandemic was something which got in the way, and she was released in 2020. And Gibbs' last professional wrestling match was October 19th in a tag team on Dark. She announced her time from sport, is now focusing on her fitness career. She founded Undefinable Living and hosts her own podcast too. Not only she left AEW, she didn't get out the whole industry. But I said AEW is doing something to rub these women the wrong way. Jennifer Sturger, she was known as Jennifer Decker. She was originally in the role of backstage interview for the company. This followed on from her work as sports journalist and other roles in that area. Her time at AEW was fairly short-lived. She has now created Comedy World. Okay, Awesome Kong from TNA was there. She was supposed to be one of the most noble signings. But her time at AEW was awful. Involving terrible Nightmare Collective faction. Never heard. I was watching AEW then. Said she would take off for Glow Series. She parted with AEW. Randy Rose, Cody Rhodes' wife. She had a variety of roles in AEW, on screen and off screen. In a Nightmare Collective disaster. Oh, it's Cody Rhodes' stable. Sound like she worked with Chief Brand Officer before parting ways along with Cody. You know her story. And she has her Naked My Yoga studio. Big Swole, she's another one. She was the very first ones to have an issue with AEW from the very, very beginning. And I heard it wasn't too amicable with Big Swole. But they says one of the more messier exits. A Twitter back for Tony Khan after expiration of a deal with a notable clash that did not showcase Khan in best of lights. She returned to independent scene in the aftermath of AEW exit and has not wrestled since 2022, which is almost 2 years ago. She has been defender of husband Cedric Alexander in his bad book in WWE interviews after leaving AEW, and has been vocal in other areas of professional wrestling world too, despite not being directly in it now. All right, we getting down to the last 3. Leva Bates. Leva Bates was in AEW from day one, debuting under questionable Liberian gimmick, which died a death very quickly. While she was a wrestler, she had a variety of behind the scene roles too, similar to Brandy Rhodes. However, 2023 saw Bates leave AEW after the company chose against renewing her deal. I wonder what happened. She has returned to independent scene after leaving AEW, regularly compete over the last few months and get more ring time than she ever did when she was at AEW. Shana, whatever her name is. I don't know none of these people. They said her time was a stop-start one. She arrived in 19, signed a multi-year deal. When the pandemic led the Portuguese started not appearing on TV for quite some time. Even though she would eventually return, it was short-lived as her deal was not renewed. Although she has only completed a handful of matches, she has been wrestling in the European independent scene, continuing her in-ring career She also streams on Twitch with gaming content. And of course, Jade Cargill, we know the story with her. She's at WWE now. She was the inaugural and undefeated TBS champion up until she lost the title against Chris Statlander at Double or Nothing of this year, 2023. And after she lost, she made a couple more appearances against Chris Statlander, and then that was it. And her contract expired, and she chose to leave AEW and go to WWE. And it's the only time she debuts. But that's 10 different women, 10. And Kylie's on this list that had issues with AEW. Some are popular, some are not as popular. So that's the question going on with AEW. My question, like I said before, and I've been hearing about this for quite some time. What is going on with the AEW? What's AEW women's? I mean, what's going on with that right now? Is there a pattern with the AEW women's division? That's the question I want to know. What is going on? It seemed like there's something up with the AEW women's division. It seemed like all the women are having issues with AEW, and it doesn't matter if you're from another country or you was on dark TV or main roster or just Rampage. You see it. It doesn't matter by any skin color, any nationality. Everyone has an issue with AEW. It goes down. You could say pandemic for some, or it could be personal issues or backstage. Look at Brady Rhodes. She was a chief brand executive, and it didn't work out for her. Jade Cargill, TBS champion, the inaugural TBS champion, didn't work out for her. Then you got, of course, Blair Davenport, who was there, and then Kylie Ray and others, and it did not work out for them either. It is a pattern with the women's division. I heard that Kenny Omega runs the women's division, and he has not been doing a good job with that. But I will say, out of all the women's division in professional wrestling, AEW has the weakest, and I mean the weakest women's division. Everybody women's division is much stronger, from WWE to TNA. Even NWA has a good women's division. So this is terrible. Well, I say AEW is not elite right now. It's not so elite now, is it? It's not. But it's just sad what's going on with Chris Jericho. This is not looking good for him at all. This is not looking good for him at all, not one bit. But hopefully he gets this together. But it is definitely a problem with the women's division. It's definitely on AEW. Something, as they say, old school saying, something's not clean, and something in the pot's not clean. It's something dirty, and only time will tell how worse it's going to get. And that's the next thing. What's next? Only time will tell. But if there's more updates to Chris Jericho with these allegations allegedly involving Kylie Ray, I will update it here at the locker room here on Toxic Ring Scandal. But other than that, that's all I have regarding the subject. Anything else you guys want to leave in the chat? Any other news that you may know besides this? But that's all I have regarding this. This is a breaking news story. Definitely breaking news. And this is Locker Room of Wrestling News, Chris Jericho allegations. Soon 2 videos will pop up. One will be Legend exposes former chairman. The next video will be Women's Top Free Agent Wants Dream Match. Thank you all for coming out. Happy holidays and Happy New Year to you all. Until then, it is OUT.